What's going on, everybody? Nick here, and today we're talking about one of the biggest announcements from Summer Game Fest 2026, Final Fantasy VII Revelation. Oh my god, I'm so pumped for this game. My day one buy, my most anticipated game for 2027. After years of speculation, rumors, endless fan theories, Square has finally revealed the third and final chapter in the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy. And honestly, the reveal trailer, it gave us a lot more information than most people were expecting. Like, I thought we might get a little teaser or something. It was literally a full-blown event with tons of information and footage from the game. And I could not believe that we got as much as we got in this thing. So today we're breaking down everything we know so far about Final Fantasy VII Revelation. As many of you probably already know, Maximilian Dodd interviewed Hamaguchi after Summer Game Fest, after the event, and we learned even more than what we got at the event, including the release window, gameplay features, playable characters, story hints, the high wind, weapons, and what all this could mean for the conclusion of this series. So without further ado, let's jump right in. First up, the release date. Square Enix has officially announced that Final Fantasy VII Revelation is scheduled to launch in spring 2027. Even more surprising, the game is being released simultaneously across PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. That's a huge shift from how Remake and Rebirth were initially handled, being Sony exclusives at release. This means Final Fantasy VII fans across all major platforms will be able to experience the final at the same time. Now, one of the biggest moments from the trailer was the reveal of the High Wind, which I could not believe that we actually got footage of that. I didn't think we'd see that till later on, maybe this fall. I figured they'd end up pulling back and holding that close until later on. Fans have been waiting years to see how Square Enix would handle the iconic airship in the Remake project, and now we know that not only is the High Wind in the game, but players will actually be able to fly it across the world map. The trailer showed Cloud and the crew traveling through the skies as massive weapons emerged across the planet. For longtime fans of the original game, such as myself, this is one of the most anticipated features in this entire trilogy. According to information released after the reveal, Revelation will feature the largest world ever created in the Remake trilogy. The game appears to expand significantly beyond what we saw in Rebirth. Locations such as Wutai appear to play a major role, and the freedom of exploration seems much closer to the classic world map experience than ever before. The developers appear to be delivering on one of the biggest requests fans had after Rebirth: more freedom and more exploration. Also, one of the most exciting confirmations is that both Sid Highwind and Vincent Valentine will finally be fully playable party members, which everybody expected that. There's no way we were going to get part 3 without having them as playable characters. But seeing them finally and fully integrated into the combat system is fantastic news. Vincent was featured heavily in the reveal presentation, with Matt Mercer appearing during the announcement event. With Sid and Vincent joining the roster, Revelation should give players the complete playable cast that many fans have been waiting for. The reveal trailer also showed multiple weapon class monsters. Anyone who played the original Final Fantasy VII knows just how important these creatures are to the endgame narrative. Seeing these gigantic creatures roaming the planet strongly suggests that Revelation is heading into the final act of the original story and that the stakes are about to become enormous. Now let's talk story. Obviously, we're entering the spoiler territory for anyone who has not played Remake or Rebirth. At this point, Cloud and the party are moving toward the final confrontation with Sephiroth. Meteor is looming over the planet. The weapons have awakened, and the mystery surrounding the multiple timelines and realities introduced in the Remake project remains unresolved. The big question fans are asking right now is whether Square Enix will ultimately follow the original ending or continue down the path of creating an entirely new conclusion. Now, me personally, I think Sephiroth's gonna possibly get a redemption arc, Genova's gonna be the big bad, and Hojo's the devil. Shout out to Fungi Film Reviews for me coming to that conclusion. If you guys have not checked out his channel, he has a lot of really great theory videos out there. Square Enix also revealed a new system known as FITS. According According to information released after the reveal, FFVII allows characters to equip specialized armor that grants unique abilities and combat styles. Some fans are already comparing it to a modern version of the classic Final Fantasy job system. If implemented well, this could add a huge amount of customization and replayability. And I think that they probably included that because we are not going to have Aerith, and they had to do something to replace her. So I think the FFVII system is going to kind of be the replacement for Aerith moving into Part 3. We also learned players who own saved data from Remake, Intergrade, and Rebirth will receive bonus rewards in Revelation. Square Enix has already confirmed special summon-related bonuses for returning players. So if you've been following this trilogy from the beginning, there will be at least some initiative to bring your previous save data forward. Now let's talk about one of the biggest discussions happening in the Final Fantasy VII community right now, the voice cast. And this was one of the most disappointing things for me to learn. Following the reveal of Final Fantasy VII Revelation, fans quickly noticed that Sephiroth sounds different from what we heard in both Remake and Rebirth. As many of you already know, veteran Sephiroth voice actor Tyler Hoechlin does not appear to be returning for Revelation. Based on the reveal trailer and comments from Square Enix, the role has been recast with a new performer. At the moment, Square Enix has not publicly explained why the change was made, and the company has not announced whether additional recasts could occur for other characters. But from what we heard from Hamaguchi during the interview with Maximilian, it seems that he just was not available at the time they were recording all the lines for this game. Some fans feel that the new voice sounds closer to Sephiroth's portrayal in other Final Fantasy projects, while others believe that changing the voice actor this late in the trilogy hurts continuity, especially after players have spent hundreds of hours with the Remake and Rebirth versions of these characters. And I fall under that category personally. I noticed it, and I'm not a fan of the change. Hopefully it doesn't pull me out of the game too much though. Regardless of where you stand on the issue though, it's definitely one of the most talked about aspects of the Revelation reveal. And honestly, it's understandable why fans are passionate about it. We're talking about the final chapter of a trilogy that has been building for years. Players become attached to these performances, and when a major character like Sephiroth suddenly sounds different, people are going to notice. The good news, though, is that we've only heard a limited amount of dialogue so far. So until players actually experience the full game, it's probably too early to judge how the new performance will be received. Still, this is likely going to remain a major topic of discussion all the way up until launch. From everything we've seen so far, Final Fantasy VII Revelation looks like it's shaping up to be the biggest game in the trilogy. We've got the High Wind, we've got playable Sid and Vincent, we've got weapon battles, we've got Wutai, we got a massive world to explore, we're going to be returning to Midgar. I mean, it's opening up the entire world to us. And most importantly, we're finally approaching the conclusion of one of the most ambitious remake projects in gaming history. The big question now is whether Square Enix can stick the landing and deliver a finale that satisfies both longtime fans of the original game and the newer audience that joined the journey through Remake and Rebirth. But one thing is certain. After Summer Game Fest 2026, Final Fantasy VII Revelation instantly became one of the most anticipated games of 2027. Let me know down in the comments what you're most excited about. Are you looking forward to flying the High Wind, playing as Vincent and Sid, or are you still trying to figure out what Square Enix is doing with this story? Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be covering all the news for this game up until release, and I'm probably going to be playing it some on here and reviewing it, and we'll give my final thoughts once the game's out. Again, I'm Nick, Screenaholics Gaming. We'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.